Want to grow your aesthetics business and help your clients see better results? Pomp is the only retail solution that lets you recommend professional-grade skincare curated by our medical director without holding any inventory. You'll gain access to exclusive brands, tailored education, and easy tools to boost revenue well beyond your treatment room. With Pomp, you can deliver exceptional client results while earning commissions on every sale, day or night. Sign up today at pompbeauty.com and turn retail into your most reliable stream of growth. Are you interested in providing results-driven treatment services? Join a team of like-minded individuals who share your passion and support your success. With more than 1,000 franchised locations in 49 states, MStaszcuk is not only the nation's #1 provider of massage services collectively across its franchise network, but also a national leader in skincare. Start or grow your career at a MStaszcuk franchised location. Visit MStaszcuk.com/SDcareers for full details.
Hello and welcome to ASCP's Esty Talk. I'm your co-host, Maggie Staszcuk, and ASCP's Program Director.
And I'm Ella Cressman, licensed esthetician, business owner, ingredient junkie, and content contributor for Associated Skincare Professionals.
On the show today, we are joined by Heidi Holley. She is a licensed esthetician, certified massage therapist, and beauty business coach with over 20 years in the industry. After having owned her own spa for 14 years, she stepped away from the treatment room to found Sapphire Spa Coaching, where she now helps solo estheticians get clear, confident, and booked. Welcome to the show, Heidi.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be on. I'm so excited about this topic today.
We're happy to have you. Today, we are discussing an important topic. Whether you are new to the industry or been at it for a while, we're diving into client retention. Heidi, you have 3 actionable steps estheticians can take to boost retention and create more long-term clients.
Yeah, I mean, my passion really is helping beauty professionals gain that clarity. Obviously, when you gain clarity in things, you are going to retain your clients a lot better. You're going to attract clients, and you're really going to truly build either the books or the business that you're obsessed with. So I love this topic because the client retention tips that I'm going to share today are also going to be client attraction tips too. So they can work hand in hand. So I love that part as well.
Me too. I think it's really important because we focus on attracting clients, but we don't focus enough on retaining them or keeping them. We get them, but then how do we keep them, right?
Right, right. And really a lot of things go together, right? So, if your messaging, let's say, for instance, is fuzzy or it's not connecting with the clients that you really are wanting to attract, the same thing could be happening in the treatment room, right? The same thing could be happening with the conversations that you're having. So I find that, that connection and, getting that clarity of who you're working with and why you're bringing them back in it's just intertangled. So I love this part because this is the best part. It's so much fun to attract and to keep those clients coming back.
Let's dive into tip number 1 that you have.
Yeah. So I'm a big believer in creating a memorable experience. So, really, this is where you get to make your clients feel special, right? And get your clients feeling like, wow, that was so much more than the treatment that I had booked. That is so much more than, I was expecting. So you obviously want to make them feel special, like before they even get onto the table or get into your treatment room, during and after the service. But creating that memorable experience requires you to kind of dive a little bit deeper in yourself and explore of what makes you unique as a business owner or what makes you unique as a service provider. So I always try to kind of get people to say, what are they really offering their clients? Like, what is that memorable experience that you're wanting to leave with your client, right? Because that's really what's going to bring them back into the treatment room.
The one way that I create memorable experiences, and it just came up because I asked for client feedback, but it was what I do is I let them pick the music they want. So I have one client who likes Fall Out Boy, one client who likes 90s rap, one client who likes Yanni. And so I have that ready for them when they get there.
I love that. I've heard you talk about that before,
Mhm.
Ella. I think I would have a hard time doing that. I'm sorry. They don't get to pick their music.
Yeah.
You know, that is a tricky one. Depends on what you're trying to do in your treatment room. But I really think this is something that people are going to share. So your client, if they can remember that experience, they're going to be more likely to share it with their friends, family, people that they run into on their daily lives. So that's why I think it's important to kind of focus on this a little bit and to really tailor it to you, make it unique to you. You know what I mean? Because that's what the client remembers as well. Clients aren't going to necessarily remember if you did like a really great service, but they're going to remember their experience and how you made them feel, you know? So that's a huge one.
Yeah, very good point, Heidi. What is tip number 2?
Tip number 2 is to pre-book every client. And I know this is going to sound really like, okay, Heidi, we know this. But it's really important that we ask for that pre-book, that we're guiding our clients in that pre-book process. So, you know, I think this is something that we can work on as a collective, right, in the beauty industry of what kind of to say as we're guiding our clients out into the world. And, you know, they're in their like relaxation bubble. They're in their, you know, they came off of that great experience that you just gave them. And this is something that we have to kind of practice sometimes of like the words to say but I really say, I just tell my coaching clients, like, you have to just ask for it. Say, hey, in order to maintain the results from this appointment, I suggest you coming back in this amount of weeks. Let's get you on the books today because I want to ensure that you have the proper time and date for yourself. Because we all know that everybody's busy. And you can kind of add something in there that's very unique to your client or very unique to you, or I only have so many Saturdays I work or something like that, right? Because, you know, we're going to make it personal. But if you're not asking for that rebook, there's more likely a chance that that client either isn't going to come back or they're going to get so busy that they're going to, you know, life is going to get in the way. And so you're not going to see them when you probably want to see them in order to maintain those results, right? So, you know, the pre-book and asking for the pre-book, you'd be surprised at how many people miss this step. And it's really essential to like letting the client know, hey, I want you to come back. This is how you're going to maintain these results.
I hear you, Heidi. I think this is definitely hard for estheticians. I think it was hard for me when I was just coming out of aesthetics school. And it's closing the sale is what it is. And
Yeah.
I have heard tips throughout my career about don't let the client know that your calendar is wide open, pick specific dates or times, you know, little tricks like that. I don't know if you have a perspective on that.
You know, I think I'm all about authenticity in business. I'm all about authenticity when it comes to clients, right? So I'm just trying to invite that client back in. And I think that for me, as long as that, you know, relationship is kind of being built and you feel that connection with your client, there's no need for you to, I don't know, tell them all these different things. Just invite them back. Say, hey, I want to have you come back in, but I want to ensure that you are coming back in the time that works for you.
Yeah.
I make it non-negotiable, except remember a couple
Right.
weeks ago, I was talking about that fail that I had, the client fail. Like I feel like I'm new to this. I should know better, but I totally had a fail with a brand new client. And the one thing that I did not do that I do with every other new client is I didn't pre-book her. I said, oh, call me in a little bit if you in a couple weeks and we'll get you back in. Everybody else, it's a non-negotiable. You need to come back. Do you want to come back in 4 or 6 weeks? I don't say I want to see you back. I say, do you want 4 or 6? That's your choice. That is your choice.
That's a great tip. Because yeah, we're leading the conversation, right? We're guiding, we're, you know, directing that client. And so I love that you use that verbiage because honestly, like that's probably going to be the deciding factor of the brain of like, okay, oh, wow, this is my choice. Okay, yes, I need to maintain this. I need to listen to this person. I love this result and I love this experience. So I love that. Yeah.
What's tip number 3?
Tip number 3, which I was going to kind of lead into because it really does, is the follow-up and staying top of mind. So this is also another thing that I feel like people kind of shy away from because they don't want to seem like they're you know, emailing their clients too much or you're sounding like they're in their inbox a lot or something like that. But, you know, we really do want to follow up with that client, especially a first-time client, right? first time client, we want to just follow up them and say, hey, how was the treatment? I would love to hear, any feedback. This is a really good opportunity for feedback. You had mentioned feedback earlier. I love getting feedback. I think it's important and it's part of the process that I had. So, and whether it be text message, email, social media, it's really up to you and your client, right? Because everybody does communicate a little differently nowadays. So I will say, like, yes, back in the day, emails were like the standard for business. But I think honestly, if a lot of your clients text message, a lot of your clients are on social media, communicate that way. But I do highly suggest staying also top of mind, because staying on top of mind, and how I do this is send an email weekly. And I know some people listening are going to be like, an email weekly? Oh my gosh, that's a lot. But it's actually not. If you think about how many emails you receive in your inbox from big brands, let's say, so like Sephora, for instance, like they'll send an email a couple times a day, every day, right? So we are used to getting emails. We are used to things coming into our inbox. But if you send an email weekly to your clients, you're going to stay top of mind with them. So that means that they're going to see that email and probably think about you if they've had a conversation, or they're going to see that email and maybe it resonates with them, or they're going to see that, you know what I mean? So but same thing with follow-ups. So obviously I suggest you to do a follow-up, right after their first appointment. We want to get, an awareness of how they enjoyed their appointment. If we could get a review from them, if we could get a feedback from them, or just remind them of when they're coming back in, or if they did not pre-book, which that happens too. So don't get me wrong, but remind them when they should come back in. So that follow-up after their first appointment is very vital. But then after that, let's say you don't see a client for a while, this is an opportunity to start that conversation again. And I think that's where people become a little bit shy as well. It's like, am I going to seem like, I don't know, aggressive with this? But it's like, no, you have to realize that people's lives are very busy. They have work, they got kids, they got all sorts of stuff going on. So some people might want to see you again and they just forgot to schedule, and like time just passes. So that follow-up and staying top of mind is huge.
Really, really good advice. And this takes me back. I'm going to date myself here. But when I when I first entered the industry, I would have those clients that I would see and then not see for a while. So I would write a little thank you card and then put my business card in the note and write 10% off.
With
saying,
a Sharpie?
Yeah, saying like, hey, haven't seen you in a while. Come back in. Which, I mean, today, I don't even know if that would be effective. Everything is digital. Everything's, like you're saying, email or text or social media.
I think that is effective.
You do?
I think that there's a lost art of like getting something in the mail, because to Heidi's point, we are inundated with digital communication.
Yeah, maybe now, again, it would be effective.
Yeah.
But there may have been a period of time when people would say, what is this? And toss it.
If it's handwritten, I'm opening it.
Okay.
Yeah. You can send me a note anytime.
I'm going to send you a note, Ella.
Okay, I love that.
Stamped and everything.
But also, in the spirit of technology, a lot of these touchbacks or top of minds are integrated into softwares as well. So making it easy is, or making it easy for yourself. If it is something that you find intimidating or not understanding what to do, listen, it's a lot of work. Yesterday was my social media catch-up day. I'm so far behind. I had to do an email, I had to do posts, I had to schedule them, all that other stuff. It's a lot. And so I appreciate the integrations and the software that I have that's like, click, send reminders to the ones that haven't been here in 6 months. And it's a lot less personal than a handwritten note. But I think that is something that you can use as a busy solopreneur or entrepreneur that will still provide that touchback. And then when you have time in your schedule, or allowing time in your schedule for those authentic connections too. And I think you made me think of that fail that I had. This is a very enlightening conversation for me, because that fail that I had, instead of sending an email or a text or like a social media message, I'm going to write her a handwritten note and put a little sample pack in there or something.
Do you think a personalized text message is as effective?
And especially, let's say, if you have a smaller audience, if you have a smaller client load right now, then this is the time to do those personal things before your business grows, or before your books really grow to the point where you have to rely on those more automated systems like she had mentioned. Like, I think, yeah, if you have the time, if you have gaps in your schedule, this is the opportunity for you to show your clients a little bit more personalization and a little bit more care. And I love the postcards. I love the postcards, by the way. The postcards are near and dear to me. I mean, I'm in my 40s, so like that was what I did early on. But I love that because a client probably will feel a little bit special and feel a little bit cared for differently. So,
especially in this day and age. So the 3 steps. 1 is make it memorable. 2 was pre-book. 3, stay top of mind.
Those are my 3 top tips for really client retention. And these are the things that have just worked over time. So it doesn't matter like what technology is doing, doesn't matter how busy people are, doesn't matter. These are tried and true things that I've worked over my career. These are tried and true things that pretty much everybody does in the industry. And so, but it is about that repetition and it is about continuing to do it. So I like that you mentioned the technology earlier because that is one way that you can just do it. So I say the same thing with social media. I'd rather have you post something than analyze it and not post at all type thing. So same thing with communication, same thing with working on things in our business and our books and bringing clients back in is just doing that effort and continuously doing it.
Heidi, excellent tips. Thank you for being on the show with us today. Now, listeners, we want to hear from you. Share with us on social media through Instagram, Facebook, or send us an email at getconnected@ascpskincare.com. In the meantime, thank you for listening to ASCP Esty Talk. For more information on this episode, or for ways to connect with Heidi Holley, Ella, or myself, or to learn more about ASCP, check out the show notes.